Second guessing it don't help me. I'm so tired of feeling empty. Find my eyes, it's time to fight. Seems like I'm always against me. Seems like this is never ending. I refuse to let it end me. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I need my peace. Oh, I need my peace. I wake up every morning and tell myself, good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. No one else can make me feel this way. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. All the times that I hated myself, yeah. All the times that I wanted to be someone else. All the times that I should have been gentle with me. All the times that I should have been careful with me. Why did I hate myself? Why did I hate so intensely? Lord help me. I wake up every morning and tell myself, hey, gorgeous. Sometimes I gotta look in the mirror and say, hey, gorgeous. No one else can make me feel this way. Hey, gorgeous. No one else.
We're doing something a little different today. Something that's been very interesting to me, and I hope it's interesting to you. Past life regression. The regression of life. It's basically when somebody guides you into a deep, relaxed state, sometimes through hypnosis, sometimes through meditation, and you start digging around in the deeper parts of your mind. The idea behind it is when your everyday thinking slows down, memories, images, and feelings can come to the surface that people believe might come from other lifetimes. Now, some people take that literally and say that they're remembering lives that they lived before this one. Other people look at it in a different way and say what's coming up is this subconscious mind putting together stories, emotions, and memories that help explain the patterns in life that you're living right now. Don't matter either way. The whole point isn't just curiosity. People are usually doing it because they're trying to understand something that keeps showing up in their life. Maybe, just maybe, there's a pull towards certain places, cultures, and time periods. During those time periods that feels deeper than just interest. Regression is one of the ways people try to look under the hood and see what might be driving it. You know what I mean, right? So here's how it usually works in real life. The person guiding the session gets you calm first, right? Then your breathing slows down. Then your body relaxes, your mind starts running amok. But once you're in that quiet mental space, then they start asking simple questions that get you picturing things. You might imagine walking through a doorway, down a path, or in some kind of scene. Then you just pay attention to whatever shows up. Sometimes people see clear images like they're watching a movie. That's how I usually see images, like they're movie scenes, segmented. Sometimes it's just feelings or flashes of places. Sometimes nothing visual happens at all. And it's more about the emotions that rise up. The guide keeps asking questions to help you explore whatever scene your mind puts together. And the interesting part is that the scenes people describe usually are not dramatic fairy tale stuff. Most of the time, it's regular life moments. Working somewhere, traveling, dealing with family, standing in a place that feels familiar, even though you ain't never been there before in your life. That's when you start connecting the dots. You realize the story that you're seeing has the same emotional theme as something happening in their current life. And that's why a lot of therapists and spiritual practitioners use regression more like a self understanding tool than a supernatural tool. The point isn't to walk away saying, I was royalty in ancient Egypt. No. The point is figuring out why certain feelings, reactions, or patterns keep showing up in your life and where they might be coming from. Some of the experiences might be imagination, some are symbolic, and some might even tap into your family history. So there's so many different layers to it. It could be an ancestral memory that sits deeper in your psyche than people realize. Whatever the source, the real value comes from the insight people get about themselves. So when you strip all of that mysticism away, past life regression is basically a way of slowing the mind down enough to listen to what the deeper layers are trying to say. Sometimes those layers speak through stories that feel older than the life that you're living right now. Welcome to Blended Healing, the regression of life.
Okay, to come and rest the past in my brand new whip. Baby, meet me in the smoke. If I'm gone, don't trip. Baby, bring it strong. Up the bank, hits, baby.
Back now, what do you see?
Lights, cameras, a fur around my shoulders. It's Hollywood, 1948.
And who are you there?
I'm wearing dimes. I remember the flashes, the way they made me shine.
And how does that feel now?
Like warmth in my chest. I learned to walk into a room like I belonged there. That night, I really did.
And remembering it helps you feel that way here too?
It does. Like I can breathe a little deeper.
Breathe. Let your mind drift back. Whatever comes, describe it to me.
There's a street, old cars, 1930.
Good, let yourself walk there. How do you feel now?
Like I was there, like I've been there my whole life. I was dancing. Everything else just melted away.
Let that stay with you. What does it feel like now?
Warm, safe, like
It's like a light I can carry with me.
exactly.
Whenever things feel heavy, let that light show up.
I will. I owe it to myself and to him.
Another deep breath, let it go. You're safe here. As I count back from 5, allow the memories to open. 5, 4.
It's warm, but the air smells like dust and metal. I'm tying a bandage on a soldier. He's scared, but I tell him he'll be all right. Later, I'm in the city.
Have some strength.
Not just mine, everyone around me.
Even when it was scary, we kept going.
And how does that feel, holding it now?
Like I can breathe a little easier, like looking back at a storm and realizing you made it through.
I still hear the rain sometimes, but it doesn't scare me anymore.
That perspective sounds powerful. Feels like power, like I finally own my story instead of it owning me.
Hold on to that. I'm torn of helping. I'll teach early.
Anytime. You've got this.
See you next week.
I'll be here.
Breathe and let the images come. You're safe here. Tell me what you notice.
There's a row of dirt warm under my feet. I'm holding a basket. I have on a heavy dress and a scarf.
What year does it feel like?
1870. I think my name is Hannah.
Stay with that. See what else.
Peaceful. You connected with her well. How does Hannah feel right now?
Peaceful, loved. I think she knows she's safe.
And so do you?
Yeah, I do.
Start by taking a slow breath in and out. Let the room fall away and follow the images that rise up.
I see open fields, a wooden fence, a carriage waiting. I'm wearing a long brown dress with lace. It feels like the 1800s. The ease, like I belong there and here.
Hold on to that. It's a part of you.
I will. It's comforting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's sit with it for a moment. When it feels far away, just breathe into it. Let it remind you you're safe.
I like that. Feel steady.
Stay with that steadiness a little longer.
Okay.
When people go into regression, right? Or real deep meditation and start tapping into memory, the stuff that comes up usually falls into a few categories. People think that every image that they see means that they lived a whole other life before this one. But people who've been around this work for a while know that the mind and the spirit pull from different layers. Memory isn't just one thing. Once you understand that, it gets easier to tell what kind of experience you're actually having. The first one is what you would call symbolic psyche memory. This is the one that shows up the most. It's the one people mistake for a past life all the time. What's really happening is the mind is building a story out of pictures that represent something going on in your emotional life right now. Say for instance, right? Somebody sees themselves as a soldier on the battlefield. That don't necessarily mean that they were a soldier in another lifetime. It could mean that they feel like they're constantly fighting battles in their everyday life, relationships, work, family pressure, whatever it is, you know? The scene works like a metaphor. The subconscious talks into pictures the same way dreams do. That's why the images feel strong and emotional. The mind is putting something on the screen that hasn't fully been dealt with yet. In this type of regression, the point ain't about proving history. The point is understanding that your inner world is trying to tell you something. You feel me? The second thing is ancestral memory. And that is where it gets a little deeper. A lot of African and indigenous traditions already talk about this. Instead of you looking at your life, your soul supposedly lived before, you might actually be families of stories, trauma, survival moments, migrations, and histories that go back generations. Sometimes these memories sit deeper in your psyche than people realize. So when someone goes into a deep reflective state, that history can surface in a way that feels personal, like you were there. The emotion in these experiences is usually strong. People sometimes see scenes connected to historical events their ancestors may have lived through, and the feeling is different from imagination. It feels less like watching a movie and more like remembering something that belongs to your people, something that ran through your family line long enough before you wasn't even a thought. You feeling me? All right. The third type is what people call collective memory. Let me break that down plain. All right. A psychologist by the name of Carl Jung talked about something called the collective unconscious. Basically, What that means is human beings share certain deep symbols and roles that show up everywhere, no matter what culture you look at. So, when people go into a trance or a deep meditation, they start seeing figures like healers, warriors, teachers, travelers, elders, those type of roles. And they might see old landscapes too, like deserts, ocean, temples, mountains, ancient places that feel powerful, even if they can't explain why. They don't necessarily mean that you lived in that place before. A lot of times it just means that the mind is using these big universal symbols to talk about identity and direction. It's the mind saying something about who you are, what role you play in the world, or what energy you're carrying today, than the life that you're living in right now. Ashe? All right.
Yeah. Stop playing small. Stop hiding. Take the cap off. Let it bleed.
Every great record starts with a story. Before the microphones, before the mix, it's figuring out what you really want to say. If you can name it, you can shape it, and if you can shape it, you can make people...
For me, it's all about collaboration over competition. When we get in this room and listen to the music, it's not about ego, it's about building something together that feels like truth. That's where the magic lives.
I say yeah like a fool, whole line in my chest, but I stayed in the zoo. Trauma had me for the insecurity, train me. Fear kept the key, but the door couldn't cage me. They doubted.
Collaboration over competition is a movement, and Alicia is the musical genius behind it. She creates all the custom music. Check her out on IG, TikTok, and YouTube.
The cap off, take the cap off. The cap off. Let it pop, let it snap, been holding all this fire, had it tucked in the back. Take the cap off, let it spill, let it drop. You been solid too long, let the pressure go pop. Take the cap off, no fear, no doubt.
Make sure that you tap into Alicia Dion. She makes all the wonderful music for the COC. Her link and her information is in the chat. All right. The fourth type is what you would call imaginative narrative creation. This one happens when somebody walks into regression already convinced about what they're supposed to see. If somebody goes in thinking that they were a priestess in Egypt or a knight riding around in medieval times, the brain can build a whole story around that expectation. And it can feel extremely real. The brain is powerful like that. It can build entire worlds in your mind. That don't mean the person is lying or making something up on purpose. It just means that the mind grabbed images that were already stored from books, movies, history, classes, or things that they heard about before and built a story out of it. Then you got the fifth type. And this is the one that people who do this work for a long time say shows up the least, but feels the most different. Some spiritual practitioners call it soul, continuity, memory. And when this happens, it don't feel like imagination. It feels more like you stepped into a memory that was already sitting there waiting for you. The tone is usually calm. Most of the time, it's simple, everyday life. Somebody might see themselves working in a field, traveling somewhere, raising a kid, living in a small village, doing regular things, but the emotion tied to it is very clear. A lot of people who have this kind of experience say it sticks with them for years because it helped them understand certain relationships or patterns in their whole life. It's like something clicked that had been sitting in the background this whole time. The reason for understanding these layers matter because people jump to conclusions real fast. when it comes to regression experiences. I have to give you the background before we jump ahead. So sit tight. Sit tight. Somebody sees a scene or an image, and then the first thing that they say is that it proves that they lived another life. Or they start building some big cosmic story around it. But the truth is the mind and spirit move through a lot of different channels. Memory isn't just one lane. Sometimes it's symbolism, emotion, family history, coming back up, the mind putting a story together so you can understand something that you've been holding on to. What really matters isn't trying to prove whether the scene literally happened in another lifetime. What matters is the meaning behind what you saw. And for somebody who already works with ancestral awareness, meditation, and spiritual reflection, the real question usually isn't who was I before? The better question is, what story is surfacing through me right now? And why does it matter in my life today? And when you start looking at that, the whole experience will change. It stops being about chasing some mystical proof and starts becoming about understanding yourself on a deeper level, which is your identity, your family history, your emotional patterns that run through your life, and sometimes through your bloodline. All right? All right, okay. Okay. Now there's another piece. People who study regression notice after a minute. When somebody has a real strong experience, the story almost always circles around some kind of emotional theme, you know? It doesn't matter what culture the person comes from or how they interpret what they saw, the same patterns keep showing up. One of them is connection, which is relationships that feel familiar or meaningful in a way that's hard to explain. Another one is unfinished relationships, where it feels like something between people was never fully resolved. And the third one is the moments where a life path changes direction, where one decision changed the whole course of everything that came after. And those emotional anchors keep showing up over and over and over again, whether somebody believes the experience is psychological, ancestral, spiritual, or some mix of all three. All right? All right. I ain't keeping you long. We about to wrap this up. I had to give you the history. Don't shoot the messenger. I was told to deliver this, and this is what I'm doing. I'm being obedient. Don't be so fresh. Why is Blended talking about regression? Let's get to it. I'm getting to it. Chill.
We are daughters of sun and stone. The desert carries our names, the wind our stories. Every step we take presses the memory of our mothers into the earth. We walk forward, not as shadows of a broken past, but as the dawn itself. Each grain of sand remembers our courage. Each star above answers our call. In the hush between lives and new dreams, had it been waste, in the time conscious of church, we in the sand house and release them to the sky, and the sky remembers. When the first light finds us, it will find us moving forward. Each step is a claim, each breath a promise. The lands remember our mothers, our grandmothers. We are the daughters of Nubia and of Egypt. You are us.
Let's close the circle on this and keep it grounded so the whole thing makes sense without turning it into something else, all right? At its core, past life regression is really just a way of going inward and letting deeper parts of your mind speak. The way those deeper layers speak is through images, feelings, and stories. When people slow down their thinking just enough through meditation or hypnosis or deep reflection, the subconscious starts bringing things to the surface that normally stay buried until it's ready to surface. And when it does, ooh-wee. And what comes up can take a whole lot of different forms. Sometimes it's symbolic, sometimes it's ancestral, it's emotional, sometimes it's just your mind putting together the pieces of things that it absorbed over a lifetime. Now, some people walk away from a regression session convinced they saw a literal previous life. Other people see it differently and say the mind created that story that helped them understand something about themselves. And then there are the traditions that interpret these experiences as ancestral memory, things that might go through your bloodline emotionally, family history rather than reincarnation. All of those perspectives are trying to explain the same basic thing. The human mind has layers way deeper than we usually access on a day-to-day life. But the real point isn't trying to prove whether the scene you saw happened in another century. That's not where the value is. The value is in what that experience reveals about your life right now. A lot of time the mind uses historical settings simply because they give the story a clear stage to play out on. Whether it's a village, a ship, a field, a road, places like that, that help the subconscious put everything together, all right? And when you look at regression from that angle, the whole thing flips. It stopped being about chasing proof, and it starts becoming about exploring the deeper parts of your memory and your identity. For people who already work with ancestral awareness, meditation, or spiritual reflection, this kind of experience often feels familiar. So the healthiest way to approach past life regression is with curiosity instead of certainty. And whatever shows up, treat it like a story your deeper mind is giving you. Listen to it, sit with it, reflect on it, and see what parts of it connect with your life in the present. Because at the end of the day, the insight is the real takeaway, not proving whether the story happened 100 years ago. And once people understand that, the regression stops being about escaping the present and starts becoming another tool for understanding. Ashe? All right. All right, so here it is. You did it. You got through it. You got the basics. You got it. You got it. You got it. Good. Go back and listen to this again, because when we step through the next door, we about to. So the next time that we meet, we're going to go through a process together that'll be able to assist you. I'm going to give you some background on how you can attempt to do a regression on your own, a self-regression. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that, break down how it works, and then we're going to get into some things step by step. And what we're going to be working with is something called the memory and ancestral reflection system. Don't let the name get you all twisted, because it sounds bigger than what it really is. The whole point of the system is to help people explore deeper layers of memory, emotional patterns, and sometimes even ancestral things without forcing it into a different conclusion. All right? That's what we're going to do. The focus is simple: awareness, reflection, integration. In other words, you're going to be learning how to notice what comes up, understanding what it might mean, and then seeing how it connects to life that you're living right now. You're not doing this to prove anything. You're doing it to understand a little bit better, to understand your patterns, and understand the emotional threads that run through your family line. You dig? So the next time we're going to sit down together, we're going to walk through the process slowly. How to calm your mind, how to open up that reflective space, and how to observe what comes up without forcing it, and how to make sense of whatever shows up. We're going to be talking about it. How your mind tells story through images. We're going to talk about them ancestor or echoes, all of that. All right? All right. So this is where the real work begins, all right? All right. You got it. You got it. You got it. All right, good. I'll see y'all soon. Be well. Stay safe. Ashe and deep bow to each and every one of you. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Okay, you come and rest the past in my brand new whip. Baby, meet me in the smoke. If I'm gone, don't trip. Baby, bring it back strong. Up the back of his baby.
Back now, what do you see?
Lights, cameras, a fur around my shoulders. It's Hollywood, 1948.
And who are you there?
I'm wearing dimes. I remember the flashes, the way they made me shine.
And how does that feel now?
Like warmth in my chest. I learned to walk into a room like I belonged there. That night, I really did.
And remembering it helps you feel that way here too?
It does. Like I can breathe a little deeper.
Breathe. Let your mind drift back. Whatever comes, describe it to me.
There's a street, old cars, 1950.
Good. Let yourself walk there. How do you feel now?
Like I was there. Like I've been there my whole life. I was dancing. Everything else just safe. Like
it's like a light I can carry with me.
Exactly.
Whenever things feel heavy, let that light show up.
I will. I owe it to myself and to him.
Deep breath, let it go. You're safe here. As I count back from 5, allow the memories to open. 5, 4.
It's warm, but the air smells like dust and metal. I'm tying a bandage on a soldier. He's scared, but I tell him he'll be all right. Later, I'm in the city.
With some strength.
Not just mine, everyone around me.
Even when it was scary, we kept going.
And how does that feel, holding it now?
Like I can breathe a little easier, like looking back at a storm and realizing you made it through.
I still hear the rain sometimes, but it doesn't scare me anymore.
That perspective sounds powerful. Feels like power, like I finally own my story instead of it owning me.
Hold on to that. I'm torn of helping. I'll be early.
Anytime. You've got this.
See you next week.
I'll be here.
Breathe and let the images come. You're safe here. Tell me what you notice.
There's a row of dirt warm under my feet. I'm holding a basket. I have on a heavy dress and a scarf.
What year does it feel like?
1870. I think my name is Hannah.
Stay with that. See what else.
Peaceful. You connected with her well. How does Hannah feel right now?
Peaceful. Loved. I think she knows she's safe.
And so do you?
Yeah, I do.
Start by taking a slow breath in and out. Let the room fall away and follow the images that rise up.
I see open fields, a wooden fence, a carriage waiting. I'm wearing a long brown dress with lace. It feels like the 1800s. The ease, like I belong there and here.
Hold on to that. It's a part of you.
I will. It's comforting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's sit with it for a moment. When it feels far away, just breathe into it. Let it remind you you're safe.
I like that. Feel steady.
Stay with that steadiness a little longer.
Okay.
They don't even knock. The wild thoughts don't knock.
Sometimes the world gets too loud. Here, it's just the tide and my own heartbeat. This cave, these walls, they hold the sound of the sea like a secret. My little home away from home, out there can wait. For now, I just breathe.
I think I need to add some more things in here. I may be here for a while. A blanket, a bit of light, pages to hold what's on my mind. Let the tide keep time for me. Can't finally revenue this. A little screen to keep me company, and a tablet for the words I don't write by hand. The generator hums steady. The stove keeps the tea hot. Fridge full of simple things. Snacks, fruit, bread, even a little jam. Plates and forks so I can slow down and eat like I mean it. And with this mic, this headset, I can do my podcast from here. With the
In a dead room, soft at first and louder than my breathing. Silence start feeling like company, and I hate how easy it is to listen. I ask myself real quiet, would it matter if I faded? Mine comes back quick.